Joining us now over the phone is Florida GOP Senator Rick Scott, who is in self-quarantine at his home in Florida. Senator Scott, thanks so much for talking to us. First and foremost, how you doing? How you holding up?
I'm fine. This will be my last day. I've never taken my temperature so much. I stayed up here in D.C., so I didn't get on a plane when I found out the individual I was around had tested positive. But I'm looking forward to getting back over to the Senate. Now, I do want to be safe when you see people like Rand Paul get be test positive. But we've got to keep helping the American worker, and the small businesses have been unbelievably hurt with this coronavirus outbreak.
Yeah, how important is it right now, Senator, that other senators come together in this moment? Phase 3 failed in the Senate yesterday. This delays the process. How concerned are you right now?
I'm very concerned. The first focus that we have to have is all of our problems are caused because we have the spread of coronavirus. So we have to be doing everything we can to stop it. Next, we have to help those that have been hurt. We have to be fiscally responsible, even in a crisis. So let's focus on not the big companies and do bailouts of big companies, but let's focus on the small businesses. Let's focus on the hourly workers. Let's focus on the tip workers. Those are the ones that have immediately been impacted by this. I don't want to put new mandates on businesses. I want to figure out how do we get past this crisis. So I have a 30-day plan, and we can do this, but we all have to do it together. Stop going out if you don't have to. We got to shut down air travel. We've got to close our borders. We've got to give people a break for 30 or 60 days. Give them a moratorium on their credit cards, their car payments, their mortgages, things like that. Give them a break. That's the fastest way we can put money in people's hands. Don't go out with a temperature. We shouldn't let anybody into a building anywhere if you have a temperature. You saw that we are getting the testing up. 100,000 people, the White House said yesterday, were tested. That's good. We're going to keep that up. If you're positive or if you've been around someone that's positive, you have got to quarantine. We've got to stop the spread. And finally, let's give the doctors some leeway. If there's an FDA-approved drug, they should be able to use that on any coronavirus patient.
Let me ask you this. Michigan recently talking about issuing a lockdown. You're seeing more and more states adhere to this, New York, California. Do you support a statewide lockdown in your state of Florida, sir?
Well, I think we ought to all try to come together. What I'm really worried about is we're already having such an adverse impact on so many of our businesses. If there's a business that can operate and they have social distancing, if they're checking temperatures, if they can keep producing things and making sure people can get a job, can get a paycheck, I want to keep those businesses open. I know if people don't do it, eventually I'm sure that's what's going to happen all over this country. So let's do it now. You have to be so disappointed in people like those spring breakers or other people that are having parties right now. You can't do that right now. You have got to take this seriously. We can win. This is ours to win, but it takes all of us. I want to get back to a normal life as fast as possible. I want to see my wife and my kids and my grandkids again as quickly as possible. But I know in the meantime, I'm going to social distance to make sure I don't infect anybody else, and at the same time being able to do my job.
Senator, do you know any plans as far as a remote vote could possibly happen? Because I know several other senators are quarantined as well, specifically on the Republican side. This could also delay the process as well. What have you heard?
Absolutely. Well, I know that's something that the leaders looking at, the majority leaders looking at. I will be able to start voting tomorrow. My goal is I hope this package, the way I think we have to do it, we have to focus on the workers and the small business and don't be bailing out big business. I hope it happens today. We've got to get this behind us and keep focused on stop the spread. Our whole focus and what we ought to be looking at every day is in every city, every county, every state, we've got to figure out how do we stop the spread of this coronavirus? And it's completely up to each of us. We can stop it. So our families are not impacted, our coworkers are not impacted, our friends are not impacted.
Real quick before we go, there's a positive message that the president's putting out. He's trying to remain optimistic. Do you have anything that you would like to ask the president right now, or do you have any response to how he's responding to the pandemic?
Well, I think doing the daily briefings is great. I think shutting down the border that he's done has been great. I would hope all of us we would do a moratorium and let people postpone their payments for 60 days, so we give people a break right now. But I know the president and the cabinet members. I'm talking to them almost on a daily basis. They're working hard, but it takes all of us. Healthcare is a local delivery system, so it takes the locals working hard, the states working hard, and the federal government all working in coordination. But we can do this. I'm very hopeful.
Very optimistic. Florida Senator Rick Scott, thanks so much, sir. We appreciate your time.
You just watched Newsmax TV, America's fastest growing news channel, now in 65 million homes. Get Newsmax TV on all the major cable systems or go to NewsmaxTV.com and click on the Find Newsmax tab to locate us. Remember, Newsmax TV, we're real news for real people.